My firefighter hero is Cory Barr. He was my husband for almost 6 years. He's the father of my twin girls that are now 4 years old. He had been in the fire service since pretty much the day he could be, at the age of 18. They had just dropped the age from 21 to 18 actually, and he was the first one on, so I think he was actually the youngest in Wisconsin to join. And so he had 16 years of service. And he grew up knowing he wanted to be a firefighter starting from a very young age. So he had a huge passion for it. And we would also go antiquing, looking for old fire extinguishers and antique memorabilia. So he was very involved in like the history of firefighting and very involved with Sun Prairie Volunteer Fire Department that he was on. He was very knowledgeable in the history of that department and loved and breathed Sun Prairie. He was born and raised Sun Prairie. When I met him, and he was a firefighter. In the first beginning of our dating days, I thought it was really exciting to date a firefighter. And then I remember watching the movie Ladder 49, and that's when I realized how serious it could be to be a firefighter's wife. And it's one of those things that you think's never going to happen. And, he was the first one after 125 years to pass on Sun Prairie Fire Department. And so like I always said, like he was the first one to get on at the age of 18, and then he was the first one for this. And like, you don't have to be the first at everything. As we were together, I knew what being a firefighter wife meant. I knew it meant getting up during meals and having to run to calls and leaving family Christmas to run to calls. And, the other nights of the week that he would be down for drill and for classes and training and, everything that goes into it. And, I never had any sort of resentment towards him for it at all. I was very, very proud of him and supported him 110%. My family absolutely loved Cory, and the fact that he was a firefighter, he was just as proud of him as I was. They were very supportive. There was never any like, oh my gosh, you're gonna be a firefighter's wife? What does that mean? They also admired him and just thought he was the best. The fire service is a whole brotherhood, sisterhood family in itself. And I already knew that being part of the fire department, and hearing from my family and friends of how they didn't realize how much of a brotherhood, sisterhood it was, they were blown away by that. I mean, there were definitely times where I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, this support is great. But it didn't really surprise me because I knew what that brotherhood, sisterhood consisted of. So, they were just in awe of everything everybody was doing. And I think I appreciated it, of course, and I'm sure they did because they're grieving right along with me. They want to help me, but they're also grieving and need to grieve and need help. I always like to say that he was perfect without being perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect, but he was just such a outgoing, friendly person. Like, as soon as you met him, like, he'd talk to you like he'd known you for years, even if he had just met you. So just very friendly, outgoing, genuinely interested in getting to know you and talk to you. So, he just was the best in those regards. It's been busier than I thought it was going to be today. I thought the only thing was the welcome dinner. So to see a bunch of the other activities that they had, on how much fun it was to be able to put together things that in celebration of him, and to be able to allow the girls to also do the same things. Being 4 years old, they were loving, putting stickers on all the bags for the lighting ceremony, and love the balloons and stuff. So not only stuff for me to do, but stuff for the girls to engage in and have a great time. And also to, meet a couple of the other people so far, but that's one of the things I'm looking forward to most throughout the weekend, is meeting people that are in the same boat as me and my family.